Hello friends, this is Andrew. I am here to answer a question Joel had and regarding fractals, and just to let you know, I am not the expert in using fractals. Jason from Germany is, so just want to put that note out there. But I do like how Jason trades, and him and I trade in a very similar fashion, so I just wanted to share how I use fractals in my trading. Okay, so the question that Joel had was, when drawing trend lines using fractals, what would the best practice be, do you think? Well, I don't really use fractals to draw trend lines. Okay, most my fractals are used to draw horizontal lines only. Okay, and what I do is I start from a higher time frame. Let's say this New Zealand yen monthly time frame, and I look for the fractals, the most recent fractals on the monthly time frame that have not been hit. Okay, so this one up here at 83.80 and this one down here at 69.23. Okay, so those are the fractals on the monthly time frame that I'm super interested in. Okay, it's gonna hit these two before it hits any other fractal on a monthly time frame. Okay, so then I go down to, oh, and one more thing, I color code these based on time frame. So purple is monthly, red is weekly, blue is daily, and it's those colors are consistent across other indicators as well. For example, pivots, purple pivots are monthly, red pivots are weekly pivots, blue pivots are daily pivots. Okay, so I'm trying to keep the color consistent to the time frame. So then I go down to the weekly and I do the same thing. Okay, so I have these two fractals here, so I draw my red lines at the fractal points, and these are horizontal rays, so they just extend to the right, because that's really all I'm interested in. And then I do the same thing. I go down to the daily, and on the daily you have a daily fractal that coincides with a weekly fractal, so I just leave the weekly fractal there. Then I go down to the 4 hour, and I do the same thing on a 4 hour. So for example, there is a 4 hour fractal over here, and there was a 4 hour fractal here, but it got hit yesterday, so really that fractal is invalidated. So I'm eventually going to delete that, because it's not really, it's still important to me at this point in time, because I'm in a trade. So this is how I trade, right? I like to see price go to these levels in extension. The way I measure extension is using either missed daily pivots or Keltner channels or EMA counts, EMA bar since cross EMA counts, using the 200 EMA. I think most of you are familiar with that. But I like to use pivots a lot, because pivots allow me to measure extension and have high probability targets. And let me just turn on the missed pivot template here. We have 2 consecutive missed pivots, so that's where I started getting interested in this trade. So at the time, yesterday, I had a pending order somewhere in this area that got hit. So I'm in a few trades in here. I got 2 trades on. They're still very small, because we're still trading on the right side, or sorry, the left side of that trend line, okay, of that 1 hour trend line, okay. And so that's really how I use fractals. I just like to identify these levels, and I trade around those levels. And I usually trade small, because you may go from this level all the way up to, this level up here. I mean, it's unlikely that this thing is just gonna keep going on a 45-degree line up to here, but there's always a first time, and I've learned that lesson a couple times in the forex market, or in any market really. So I'm always trying to come up with different scenarios, expect the worst, and make sure that my trade, my exposure can handle a potentially worst case scenario where maybe price comes all the way up to here. In this case, my trade sizes are so small that if price were to get up here, I would still be maybe down 1 or 2%, which is nothing. Okay, so that's it. That's how I use these horizontal fractals. Regarding this trade here, I have 2 trades on. I am looking at where that daily third daily pivot is going to get printed. So at this point, if I turn on my ghost pivots and go to a 15-minute chart, we're pretty close to that daily pivot. So I'm not in a hurry. I don't want to add anything here because I already have a couple trades in this area, and I'll be looking to target this second daily pivot. But if we do get a push higher, then I am going to be very interested in sizing up a little bit more, and targeting that third pivot, because once I hit that third pivot, I want to be in profit. I would be in net profit on the entire position, and that's going to be my goal. So that's it. That's all I have for now, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. Happy Wednesday.